Hello, everyone. Thank you. What is going on? And happy Friday. Welcome back to the second installment of Twitch's hottest new talk show, Thirst Lounge Tonight. I'm your host, John Party, and tonight's show, chat, is a doozy. We have so much shit to get through. And also, I get to sit down with the one and only Mr. Flow Show himself, Jeff Gross. That'll be towards the end of the show, guys. Now, it has been a big, or I guess you could say bear week here in the Thirst Lounge. Matty was in a prop bet this week where he had to be completely nude, naked, for 3 days. And for only a few $100. I feel like as a house, we should have come together and at least matched that bet for him to keep his clothes on. I have never seen so much of Matty, and yet so little. Also, personally for me, absolutely massive week. Just a week ago, when this show aired last week, I only had about $3 in my bank account. But after shipping a 6-minute mile prop bet and making a huge run on ACR's $5 million guaranteed Venom, locking up $20K, I am now officially rich. Well, at least in like Canadian dollars. $20K US, that's like 50 gazillion dollars Canadian. And some have asked, John, what the fuck are you gonna do with all that money? It seems almost too much to spend. Well, to answer your question, I am currently in the process of organizing the purchase of the entirety of my home country, Canada. We are still in negotiations, but I will keep you guys updated. And that's enough about me, says my fucking producer. Let's have a look at how the Thirst Lounge has been going this week in a little segment I like to call the Weekly Roundup. The new team members have well and truly settled in, and they got their first real taste of what it's like to be in the Thirst Lounge. We were approached with various prop bets to complete, and boy, was there some crazy ones. And there were some that were just straight up, well, for lack of a better word, fucked. Ebony had to shave initials in her head. Priest could only eat cottage cheese for 4 days. Brando had to get a fucking tattoo. As I said before, Matty had to be butt naked. And again, I stress, like nothing. He had nothing on the entire 3 days. Drew had to stand for 24 hours straight, and I had to wear a curtain for 3 days, and only a curtain. But in doing this, I did set the world record for biggest poker score from a guy wearing just a curtain. As I mentioned, your boy came in 22nd in the ACR Venom for a casual $20K. Priestley, Voislov, Ebony, all cashed. So it was a massive day for the Thirst Lounge.
If Pimp shoves, we'll definitely call. I think if Beef Stick shoves, we'll probably call as well.
Big pop round up.
Come the fuck on, Trent! Come on! Come on! Fuck with me and get some money. All right, guys?
All right.
Oh. Queen. Felt like a millionaire 5 minutes ago. That was a devastated group. I did gain a lot of traction from this, though, but not as much as the curtain. And here tonight, we have an exclusive interview with the one and only Curdy the Curtain.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Curdy the Curtain. Curdy, how you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I really have no complaints today.
Yeah, me too. I'm just wondering, how do you feel being, I guess, exposed and in front of thousands of people live on Twitch?
Oh my fuck, it was crazy. I can't believe that I was subjected to that kind of people, that kind of nonsense chat was getting on with.
Did you feel like maybe you weren't doing your life's purpose of, not letting the sun in these rooms?
The sun was everywhere. There was nobody to back me up and keep the sun out.
There's also a rumor going around that you are actually related to South Park's Towley. Is this true?
Why, yes I am.
Oh, no way. How's he doing?
I hate that stupid fuck. He is an idiot.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Well, thank you so much for your time, and you get back there blocking the sun. Back to you, John.
Thank you, John. Now, guys, I hate to bring this back to me. It seems like it's just, been all about me. Who the fuck am I kidding? This is pretty much the John Party Show, so let's get back to me. This week, I said that I could run a mile in less than 6 minutes. No one believed me, and chat, I mean fucking nobody. Okay, there may have been like 6 people total, but there were thousands of non-believers. So I set out to do what many thought was impossible. Do you guys think in chat you can run a 6-minute mile? If you think yes, 1, 2 for no, 3 for not a fucking chance. Let's have a look at the clip and see how it went for me.
Close. Matty, how are we feeling right now?
It's gonna be close. He's got a minute and a half for this last lap. He's already tanked already, but he's holding up strong, and if he can do it, he's gonna get that 7K.
Oh, he's so close. This is gonna be a nail biter.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. You got this. Stay focused. You got this.
Got it. 5:25.
Come on, let's go! You have to push it.
5:32.
Let's go, baby. Come on, John. Come on, bro. Let's go, baby. Steve. Quick. 20 seconds, bro.
Heart is overrated.
I think everyone in the whole world knows that John Party can't run this in 6 minutes.
This is coming down to the wire.
It's mind over matter now.
Spin! Spin! Come on! Let's go! Yes! Yes! Let's go!
Holy shit, chat. Talk about cutting it close. I literally can't imagine the feeling of going through that hell and being half a second the other way and walking away like a complete and utter loser. But it was a battle and I reigned supreme. And chat, the lesson here is never, ever fucking doubt me again. Literally never doubt me again. Oh, sorry, chat. Anyways. It has been a huge week. But, chat, there are some burning questions that we needed answers. And not only we, but the world. So our good friend Panjardi has been hard at work investigating one of the great mysteries of the universe in an attempt to finally crack the code. Let's throw it over to you, Pan.
Well, hello. For centuries, science have been working endlessly to unravel the hieroglyphics of the ancient pyramids of Egypt. Well, that has come to an abrupt halt in search for something far more mysterious. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will shed light on one of life's greatest mysteries as we attempt to decipher the tweets of Bill Perkins. Bill is one of the most interesting and educated men the world has ever seen. But for some reason, he tweets all his tweets in code. What is he trying to say? Is there something he's trying to tell us? Let's check in with Drew Gonzalez to try to shed some light on the situation. Hello, Drew. How are you?
Good, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Drew. Is it true that you are an avid reader of Bill Perkins' tweets?
I have read Bill Perkins' tweets.
Interesting. Well, Drew, one tweet that really caught my eye and the eye of the world was the poll between Y7 and Hugger.
I personally think that that was the easiest tweet to understand of all his tweets. So if you don't get it, that's on you.
I just don't understand. And it's not only his tweets he puts in codes. The TL10 has received multiple WhatsApp from Bill as well. We are finding out he is using multiple social media platforms to get his secret little points across. One day the TL10 got a message from Bill, and no one knew what it meant. And the message that was received by the TL10 group was, making grit cheese, foreign slaughter behind you. What does this mean? What is grit cheese? What's a foreign slaughter? And what did he say was behind the group when he really wasn't? We did reach out to Bill Perkins' office. There was no reply. But days later, they did send us, in fact, the recipe for a grit cheese. And ladies and gentlemen, I will let you know how it goes. That's a fucked up grit cheese. It seems no one will ever truly know the meaning behind Bill Perkins' tweets besides the Perk himself. Again, his office was not available to give us a quote, but if there's one thing I do leave here with today, it is a damn good recipe for some damn good grit cheese. Back to you, John.
Pon, thank you so much for trying to get to the bottom of this mystery that people have been, ultimately searching for decades. Mankind will always be questioning the meaning of Bill tweets, and will spend countless hours and excessive amounts of manpower trying to figure this out. Now, guys, the show isn't all fun and games, and we are going to throw it to Maddie for a little segment we like to call Strat with Matt.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Strat with Matt. This is the segment where I talk about interesting hands from around the poker world and try to dissect them from a strategic point of view. Today's hand, we got $150 million up top, plus the possibility of death. So, without further ado, let's hop into it.
4 players. Monsieur Bet. Monsieur Pawn. Check. Check.
24 million in the pot already.
Check. And check. Or check. 4 players.
All right, so we start off with some four-way action here on the turn, with blinds being at 500,000, 1 million, and a board texture of ace of hearts, 8 of spades, 6 of spades, 4 of spades. Now, generally speaking, I would say that if 4 people are seeing a turn card, it probably means that there's some poor pre-flop selection. People are playing a little bit too many hands pre-flop, and also that people probably aren't being aggressive enough post-flop and betting and generating folds. This is something that you will see at lower stakes. I'm surprised to see it in a game this big, but generally it would mean that people are playing a little too passively, both pre-flop and post-flop. Nevertheless, we do get this 4 spades on the turn, and it once again checks around. Let's see what the river brings.
Check. Check.
All in. 6 million.
Bet. 6 million. All in. $5 million. All in. Bet is 6 million.
Raise.
Raise. 12 million. Heads up.
40,500,000 all in.
Raise all in.
Well, I think I will call you on that one.
Call. Gentlemen, showdown, please. Flush. Ace, king, queen. Full house. 8 full of aces. A higher full house. Aces full of sixes. Monsieur Bond?
So we get the ace of spades on the river. A couple people make some, I think, pretty standard jams. And then it's over to Le Chiffre, who I think makes a pretty objective mistake at this point. He decides to min click it up to 12 million. Now, I don't really like this play because he can't really be bluffing in this spot, right? Because he still has to beat the other two players that are still all in. So Le Chiffre can't really be bluffing, and I would rather just see him go with a call and then maybe let Jimmy come in behind with a bad call or call with a hand that's worse than him from behind. Doesn't make a ton of sense to min click it up in this spot. Back over to Mr. Bond, who does the only thing that I think that makes sense in this spot, which is to jam. He's got obviously the stone cold nuts at this point with a straight flush, and I think you have an opponent who's shown a lot of strength. Jamming in the spot just makes a ton of sense to me. Back over to Le Chiffre, and I just think you gotta let this one go, buddy. I know that you got the third nuts with ace 6 here, but you're representing a really strong range, and Jimmy is still jamming on you. So I think you're going to run into ace 8 and 7-5 of spades just a little too often in this spot. It's pretty tough for James to have any real bluffs in this scenario. So if I'm in Le Chiffre's spot, I think that I just go with the fold. He doesn't. I think it's a pretty minus EV call. Obviously, he loses a lot of money in his life, so certainly you make bad plays in poker, you get punished sometimes, and certainly this was one of those times for Le Chiffre. One final note on this hand is that Bond on the river does go with a bit of a slow roll here. When you do have the nuts on the river, just turn your hand over, and I think you'll reap a lot of the benefits of having good etiquette at the poker table, especially when you're playing with assassins. That's going to do it for today's Strat with Matt. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Fuck was that? Did you guys see how they were throwing their chips in the pot? It's like a goddamn toddler swimming pool. Also, Mr. Bond with the ultimate slow roll of slow rolls. What a fucking dickhead. Now, guys, oh fuck, I love this. Things get competitive here in the TL house, as it should. Again, like I said last week, always challenges, prop bets, dares. You guys know how it goes. Last week, we had Casey and Brando battle it out on the court for one of the most epic displays of grit and determination I have ever seen. This week, it is back to the hardwood. We have an epic showdown between myself and Payday. This motherfucker decides to call me out on Twitter for a three-point shooting comp. Well, let's just see what happens. Payday decides to not even talk to me about it and just throw up a challenge video on Twitter. Challenging me to, I think it was a half an hour shooting. We've since narrowed that down to 5 minutes of straight shooting. Whoever sinks the most baskets wins. He's super confident. I'm not sure if he knows the role that my prop bet skills are on right now. Does not look good for him. I'm pretty confident.
Just because you can run around the field in just under 6 minutes, we're gonna be out here just raining. Because that's your range.
3, 2, go! Bad start. Oh God, he's hurting, guys. Oh my goodness. This is rough right now. This is rough. Not looking good for Payday. But looking good for your boy. There you go, see? Found the rhythm, guys. This does not look good for me right now. Oh. For sure. 5 seconds. And team 26, 7, 6, get them on off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
We started off rough and then we got into a rhythm. Started to get a little fatigued, but it's okay. It's not too bad. I'm in with a shout. I think. Let's go.
27 is the mark to beat.
Are you worried?
No, I was just trying to encourage him a little bit while he was shooting, at least make this thing a little bit close, you know what I mean? He was kind of started really slow, so I was like, well, let's cheer the guy on, give him a little bit of motivation coming down the head stretch. So. He's finished.
So out here. That's a bit of a trick to start with. Keep up that range.
That's the shot. Oh.
Keep hitting that range. Come on, inside.
fuck me!
Here we go. You're only a minute and a half in. Only a minute and a half in.
Down on those rebounds, boys.
Let's go! Back to me, back to me!
Put it down, boys.
Bring it to me! Let's go! Come on again! Come on!
You are fucked.
Come on! Give it to me, Drew.
Nope.
It's gonna be tight.
Come on, boys!
Done. How many more we need? 2. Oh, you're fucked, bro.
Don't ever challenge me to a prop bet! Ever!
You want some action in the future, John.
Ever! Don't ever challenge me! Please! Please don't ever challenge me to a prop bet!
Hey, you still need a basket.
I'm okay, buddy. It's just an emotional time for me right now.
Great.
It's just an emotional time. I just love winning so much.
That's it. 1 minute bricks, John.
I just love winning so much, guys. Everything I do, I just love winning. If anyone's, I don't know what happened to my voice. Literally, I cannot speak. That was weird. Good attempt, guys. Never challenge me to a prop bet. I will not be able to book action. What is going on right now? I think I broke my voice box. This sounds real weird now. But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to stay real manly, like a boss, is don't challenge me to any prop bets because you will lose. Until next time, back to you, John.
He got me, chat. He got me. I'm surprised. Very surprised, and I'm very fucking annoyed.
Guys, I am the absolute GOAT. I'm confused as to why people literally still want to bet against me. It's becoming mind-boggling because I literally cannot lose. I'm gonna change my name to fucking Bet on Party. And how fucking weird was that voice crack? I was legit for like 2 straight days. I was scared it was gonna be gone forever. Oh, how the world would have changed with a quiet party, eh? Well, guys, you know what time it is. It's the point of the show where we get to spend a little bit of time with a very special guest. He is heading the Party Poker Squad. He is mayor of Flow Nation. He's been in the Twitch streets for God knows how long, and he has been printing money live since before most of you were even born. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Gross. How are you, buddy?
Mr. Party, I feel like we should reverse the roles, bro. You're the one. You're the one on fire right now, man. But I appreciate the very nice intro. How's it going over there?
Hey, it's so good to have you on, man. We're doing great, you know. It's second episode here of TL Tonight. We're having a whole bunch of fun with it. I'm sure chat's having a good time. Again, we appreciate John, Jeff, but there's one burning question that we need to get away right away. Where did the Flow Show come from? Where did we become the Flow Show?
All right. Well, I like the word flow. It rhymes with show. I like to rhyme. I like to make poems. So that was the origination. And then I had the surf. I don't really surf. I have surfed, but not, it's not like a thing, not well. And then I actually have a note in my phone where I was, inspired originally by Run It Up, kind of thinking on those lines, like what needed like a name, not just Jeff Gross Poker, which is what I use for across the board.
Gotcha.
What's up, Deb Swift? See a lot of people in the chat. I got it up on the side. I'm
Hell yeah,
lurking
you
here.
chat
So
away
yeah,
with them, man.
I might have to get excited with the chat. So, but yeah, the reality was I had a ton of names. So I had all these ideas, and then
Spit a few. What other names did you have?
I mean, it was sort of on a play of Run It Up, like the Spin It Up or Chipping Up, or just kind of like, it was kind of like some kind of like something poker related term that was fun. I could go into my notes here. I'm not good with technology. I don't want to mess this up, but I have it. I could show through. I have it still. I had like 50 names that were all, different, similar. And then I just thought of the word flow. I love the word flow. And I was with Phil Locke, and I remember I was in Vegas, and it was summertime. It must have been 2015, because I think I started it officially like the very end of 2015, streaming. I had that name, and then Phil Locke looked at me, and after I came up with the Poker Flow show, I had met Badrin, kind of luckily, and obviously he works a lot with Thirst Lounge and Bill now, and sort of probably done over 200 Twitch streams of design, and now he just kind of works with us, and it's a big treat. And he sort of I got in touch with him. He came up with some logo ideas. I said I want a surfboard, the word Poker Flow show, and then he came up there's actually 3 iterations now of logos that have come through. So like looking back at some of the original art and like streams, it's kind of it's just come a long way. But I remember Phil Locke hugging me at my apartment and was like, because he's actually flirted with doing Twitch a few times. Like even recently, he's thought about starting a stream, which would obviously
He'd be fun to watch.
Unbelievable. I don't think it could get better than that. But I remember him hugging me and just saying, "This is a multi-million idea." He was like, "This is going to be great. He's like, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun." And I wish because he loves surfing. He's like, "I wish I had thought of this." And just kind of came up after some thought and just kind of came through.
It's too late now, Locke. The flow show's taken and thriving. It's cool to watch how you marketed that and branded yourself and really grew it into an awesome thing here on Twitch Poker. So I guess when you started, you weren't the Flow Show, you were Jeff Gross. Like, give us a little background on how you kind of got into poker. Like, what was your first little while experimenting with the game, or did you play since, came out of the womb kind of deal?
Yeah, no, I've played poker since around 14, 15 years old. I was in high school playing with friends. Someone brought a chip set plastic to a soccer camp. I played soccer, and basically that was where it started. And then it actually was party poker. The first ever online I played, I remember in 2000, they used to have this promotion with $25 deposit bonus. I probably had $25 on a few times online, was playing 25 cent, 50 cent back then, and then just with friends. So
many times. I've had 25 on many times.
Yeah, yeah. You know how that goes. So the deposit and run up deals. So yeah, it's been a long time, but since it's been about 15 years now. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you've been playing. So when did you start like full time, or was this kind of like when you started playing, like that was what you did? Because you were in college, university as well, right?
Yep, I went to school. I finished school. I played throughout college. I was started in high school, but yeah, I would say, technically, I didn't have a job in college, but I played soccer at University of South Carolina. So it was sort of a full-time deal. It was nice because I could hop online or, mess around, play a little bit of cash here and there. So I would say like officially though, was when I got out of college, I was playing pretty much full-time by that point. And then that was kind of it. So I guess like, it's been about 13 years, maybe 12 years full-time.
That's unbelievable. So college, I believe your good buddy Phelps went to your same college as well, right?
No, so he's from Baltimore. I met him. So I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan, where University of Michigan is. I met him in the summer of 2006 at a poker table in Canada, because it was 19, as you know, probably the ages were different. So you could go there, and we used to play at what was then Casino Windsor. Now it's called Caesars Windsor.
So he plays as well poker.
Yes, that's right. Well, he loves the game, and that's where we originally met. And then I lived with him for 7 years after college, like 2008 till 15.
No way.
Yeah.
Phelps like to party? There's a few photos came out that Phelps, might have enjoyed partying a little bit.
Mike definitely has he's had the thing is, he's so dedicated to his craft and what he did and everything. But yeah, I mean, he'd have a good time.
When he goes hard.
He could definitely. He's an animal, that's for sure. But he definitely keeps it in line, and everything was good, but nothing out of the crazy. But yeah, he was a college kid, and we used to play a lot of beer pong and whatnot. It was fun.
Was he good at beer pong?
Like I say, we had a pretty strong record. He's got that long reach. He's got the long reach. So,
he's reaching over and dropping them. He
was just laying it in.
I guess we're talking about athletics. I don't know if you know, but it's come to light in the last few days that there may be a little Team Thirst Lounge versus Team Party Poker basketball game in the works right now. How do you feel about your squad over there, Team Party Poker?
Well, I'd have to think about it, but I got a feeling I think we could match up well. I don't think it would be a blowout either way. So I think we could sort something out. It depends. Are we going, what are we doing? Is it a 1-on-1 competition? Is it 5v5, 3v3?
I'd say 5v5.
Full court.
Few off the bench, yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, we could get some wagers going. I think we could figure it out. I think it would be a good match. Do you guys have any undercover college stars or anything in there?
I'm a jack of all trades, as you probably know. I do it all. If you want to do ballet, I'm in. You know what I mean? Anything.
We should. Well, I've seen you on fire. I definitely don't want to mess with you right now, but that would be fun to do. To lower the hoop, have a dunk, NBA dunk contest. We could have a 3-point contest. We could do it all. Yeah.
Chat, what do you think about that? Let us know. Let us know, chat, what you think about the idea. We are actually in the works of trying to make that happen. The boys here are pretty hyped up about it. I've never seen Drew so hyped up, out there bricking every morning. It's unbelievable.
Maybe at the Bahamas, maybe in November we could arrange. I know the party's got the Bahama event the 15th to the 24th, so maybe we could. That's not too far from the Virgin Islands. So let's.
You guys need more practice than that, I think.
We'll see. I think I got a good feeling about us. Don't worry. Don't worry about us.
Don't sleep on Team Party Poker. Don't sleep on them. So, Jeff, your lifestyle-wise, I guess, in the last few weeks or months, I guess, has completely changed. Even the months, I guess, during your wife's pregnancy. Congratulations as well on your new baby son.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
How has that changed for you? Like, how are you now balancing your poker schedule, your content creation schedule, and now, I guess, your family life?
Learning every day. It's great. I think it's sort of been, well, first of all, so Joseph is just over 3 months, and tomorrow's gonna be his first flight. We're going to London, and so it's a long one. I'm doing the commentary for Triton series over there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be cool. So that's kind of gonna be the first time where I'm actually with him at an event of some sort, or traveling and all that combined. So we'll see. It's been hard when I went away even to the World Series. I missed most of the summer, but I was there for portions, and it was definitely it was hard, but it was also, it's just one of those things you got to realize. It doesn't mean you have a child that life stops, but at the same time you want to be present and there and not miss stuff. So it's a balance, and now that he can travel, we'll see how he does on this on the road here, and sort of work it in. But I would imagine most of the time, especially for shorter trips, not going to bring him just because it's a lot of production for that with the flights and everything. But again, you got to have balance, and you got to find what works. Because I'm going to London, then to the Party Millions in Europe, and that was just, I knew it was too long. Like, I didn't want to be away from him and my wife for 24 days. So I decided to come to London and then go home from there.
Well, that's amazing. I'm sure they will obviously enjoy that. But I guess it helps you having an awesome support system at home. I guess in your woman being next to you and being as amazing as she does definitely gives you a little bit of leeway to continue on with the life that you're living.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's one of the things, being upfront with who you're with and what you're doing. I mean, poker provides a lot of freedom of schedule, but it's also some tough there's tough hours, sometimes long days or long nights, and you got to know what your significant other, girlfriend, if you have a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or fiance, whatever it is, you got to just kind of lay everything out and realize there's pluses, but also make sure that they know what they're signing up for, and then it avoids a lot of conflict later. But like I said, it's sort of learning as I go, since it's just brand new, but we're gonna get a good taste of it this next week.
Hey, that's parents of, man. We wish you all the best at the Triton, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest poker tournament of all time.
Yeah, it's a £1 million pound buy-in, so it's 1.25 million. Not playing, I'm commentating. It's going to be pretty intense, especially Triton and Party Poker actually have a partnership. Amazing. And they're going to be on. It's going to be on Poker Go, so it'll be some high quality stuff
and what's
going on.
Here,
and the 29th, or actually officially the 31st to the 8th is when there's coverage, but I know the £1 million is on the 1st to the 3rd, so it's 3 days, and that's one pro, one businessman. I know I was actually talking to Bill. He was considering sneaking over for it. I would never count Wild Bill out. Like, if you ask me, is he playing or not? Like, it's definitely not. I'd say it's at least 15 to 20%. But he was really considering. I know he's in Europe, but I think as of right now, I don't think he's coming. But again, I would never count Bill out anything.
And you never know with Bill until that last minute of late reg, until it closes. You can't count Bill out with getting in any poker tournament.
No, he's not. He won't. You can't cut him out. So yeah, that's always a Thirst Lounge sweat. You never know. He might just find his way and be in there.
He keeps us on our toes, Jeff. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I believe it. Is there any other prop bets currently? Anything going on in the house?
Currently, right now, prop bets. Matty just finished his no close for 3 days. Priestley just finished his 4 days eating nothing but cottage cheese. Drew finishes 27 hours of complete standing. And I believe Brando's the last one left to get a tattoo of our private prop bet guy's face with his thumbs up.
And what did anyone not complete it? And how did the 27 hours no sleep go? That was so he was awake, or he could sleep.
He was awake. He could have done whatever as long as he was standing up. So we were thinking about like kind of things like tie him to a post or something and just let him stay there for the night and let him get some shut eye. But Drew handled like a champ. He got through it. He slept a lot the next day, but for those 27 hours, he was up playing poker on like high ledges and stuff like that.
Wow. And what about the no close? What was the deal on that? Just had to be, you could play, he could do anything, just had to be around.
3 days completely naked and could only be in his bedroom to sleep. So Matty was just stark naked over there in the corner of the living room for 3 whole days. So that's 72 hours. We saw a lot of Matty, Jeff, in those 72 hours.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's good. We're mixing some shit in. It seems to be a fun way to get people engaged here with the prop bets and stuff. So we're having a whole lot of fun with it. I hope Party Poker's having a whole lot of fun with it. And on that note, Jeff, I'd love to talk about how you got involved with Party Poker. I've heard some crazy stories. It's been almost like a whirlwind of transition in the online poker world in the past, I guess only a few months. So give us a little background on how this all came to fruition.
Yeah, it happened quick. It was not one of those premeditated things where it was in contact with Party for a long time. It actually took place pretty quickly, and I think one of the things people have to remember about Party Poker is that Rob Young and what they're doing there, it's not that they were just oblivious to the landscape of Twitch and things, that they hadn't given it a serious look. But Rob's whole thing was that Party Poker was not ready for Twitch. Their software wasn't good enough. Their guarantees weren't good enough. They weren't ready to pour in the resources, money, time, effort into something that they didn't feel was a up to par product. So that was the biggest thing that I think people just don't realize, that that's like the reason they were just sort of, they weren't there. And then I think few of the guys, so myself, Jamie, Kevin's, our contracts were all up at the end of January. And again, this wasn't like they reached out and were like, hey, like what's going on? And we were in negotiations, and there's some rumors, or people may assume whatever, but the reality is like the landscape of what Party wants to do for players and poker players, and just how the timing all shook out. It was just the right time. And, part of it as well is for me personally too, being USA and just what I was being used for or done with, and with where I was before, it was just sort of, I think I was a little underutilized, and it wasn't necessarily anyone's fault. It was just, I just didn't think I could really, I was just kind of at the time, the right position came up, and to kind of manage, co-manage with Jamie Staples, the team, and build a Twitch thing there where we could bring a lot of experience. And also, I think it's also just really good for the community of poker and Twitch, because if you think about it, before it was a monopoly all basically in one. You had Tonka at 888, who was basically, crushing and the guy there, but they didn't have a team. And then you look at Stars, they had everybody basically that was signed, and then there was no one. There was a lot of really talented guys. You had Owen Pav, you had Matt Staples, not even signed at all, for example. So then, it's just, and it was just time. It's time for another competitor to come in, and it's really just, and anytime there's competition, it's good. It's good for all the sites. It's good for all the players 100%. That they had. Now they got to raise the bar, got to raise the guarantees, got to raise what goes back to players, and then also, for players and people having opportunities for deals. Now it's like, well, if you see Matt and Pav aren't signed, like what it's sort of it's sort of like, wow, like what am I really, do I really want to stream? Do I really want to start this? What's the possibility? And now, Stars hired a lot of kind of up and coming streamers. There's room on Party to expand. There's other sites that now need people. So it seems to be working out well. And I think the landscape is, it's positive if you're out there and you want to do content, you want to grow your stream or start something, that there's a path. So I think it's great.
No, it's amazing. What you and Party Poker are doing is definitely great for not only the online community, but the game as a whole. You did mention you and Jamie are kind of like the two head honchos right now, kind of like a little Party Poker couple, And I want to know, in this couple, who's wearing the pants, Jeff? You or Jamie?
Well, there's Party. I can tell you're great at this. You like to stir the pot a little. You like to go for the good stuff. I will say this. I think we're a very strong team for a lot of reasons. And there's a reason it's called the co-managing directors of Party Poker, of the team online, because there's not really a captain, vice, co-captain. It really is equal, at different times step up for different things. I think we do a lot of things similar and have a lot of, I would say you could argue that there's not many other people that probably put out more, I guess, content or than Jamie or myself. Jamie's done some really creative things that it's just mind blowing. I've had the pleasure. Actually, we did Streamboat 1, yes. Streamboat 2, which got cut short. I've done Streamhouse with Jamie. I've really gotten to know him, and again, I'm just very impressed with his work ethic, his drive. He sees things ahead of people. He's the one who got me on to doing YouTube videos. At the time, I was just streaming on Twitch, and I was like, is it worth it? Like, how does it work? He showed me sort of some intricacies and how things went. And, he's really open to, on this Twitch, there's sort of a king of the hill mentality. It's like, oh, you got to have the biggest stream if you're number one. Like, it's a competitive kind of landscape, but he's always been very accommodating. And that's sort of what our role is with Party. We've put in Jamie's still streaming a lot, but really the idea is to help build not only the people at Party, but the other with Twitch Poker, and build up the people at Party Poker and build up Thirst Lounge and whatever. It's not, for me at this point, I'm not saying I'm like done streaming, but it's sort of a different phase where it's not like about trying to be number one streamer anymore, or to be a top streamer. I'd rather help grow it, help do it. And then I want to stream, kind of like Bill, like I want to come on. I love streaming. It's fun. I'll do it when there's big series or something's going on, or if I have free time and I want to do it, I'll pop in. But, in terms of that, there's a lot of grinders and a lot of people coming into their time that want to assist. And again, that's sort of, Jamie's always been just like really, even with him and I competing in a way, just very open and sharing ideas, concepts, and things he's doing. And so again, in terms of answer your question, I wouldn't say there's really one or no, but to be fair, with the having a son right now, like he's definitely, in the last few months I've had my time has been cut down, and it's he steps up and does a lot, and he's definitely a workaholic. Like, the guy just doesn't sleep. So we share a lot of stuff. And like I said, we do some things differently, and it's just different things we do at different times. But we're definitely, I don't think you could, even though it's a good question, I don't think you could legitimately find a way to slice that.
I hear you. I feel again, both you guys are someone who I definitely have on my team doing anything. So it's awesome you guys have paired up with a great company.
What do you mean? We are on the same team. We got the Thirst Lounge 10 deal. We helped start it. We were there at the beginning.
You guys are it.
Lounge. The Thirst Lounge 10.
We are Thirst Lounge OGs.
Yeah. So that's what's up. But yeah, man.
So you've gotten into, I guess, right now, obviously taking over the content creation game. Where is your main focus now? You said it wasn't so much on Twitch, but is it building Party Poker? Is it on your content game? Is it going to these places and playing live? Like, where's your head now and main focus?
It's a little bit all over the place, but I would say in order, it's definitely for Party Poker to build brand awareness, helping Rob, helping Team Online get out the messages. I think one of the things too with Party Poker, they have a lot of unbelievable promotions, giveaways, great, things they're doing with money back to the players, the community. But there's a lot of times where the message isn't, it in the past, it hasn't been as clear and people aren't as quite aware. So that's really the focus, is how do we get the word out? How do we show what they're doing for the players and what they're doing for poker? And then also building a podcast. I've been doing that. That's been fun. I'm working on that. It's up to 27 episodes now. So
congratulations.
That's fun. That's been a project, and I like that kind of sort of like this, like Thirst Lounge tonight. It's fun. It's fun to talk to people and just sort of connect and see what's going on out there. You get to know people better. So that, and then streaming still is a top priority, and just kind of one of those things where even that, like right now I would be streaming the Power Fest coming up. They have 28 million guarantees starting Sunday. I know Thirst Launch 10 is going to be going wild.
Oh,
and
the boys firing.
Big streams. But I'll play that on Sunday when I'm in London, and then I'll play the last weekend as well, and then go to the Millions. So I mean, again, a little bit of everything, but just kind of keeping it even keeled and just testing some stuff out right now. But overall,
like
a little mix. Trades. Yeah, trying to be like Party, like Mr. J Pards over there, trying to do it all. I actually wonder what I could do. I wonder what I'm curious what I could do a 6 if I could do. I know I could. I don't want to say I know. I'd be very confident I could do a 6-minute mile now. But I remember in college.
Video idea, bro.
Yeah, I just want. What is there any? Because the video was unbelievable. Watching the doubt, people saying, even Matt was saying the heart can't do it, and I would be honest, I didn't really catch. I wasn't on the bet sheets. Like I wasn't really following too close. I always bet on the man. I always on these like crazy things. I've been on some like bicycle bets, like impossible things. I've seen, Antonio just did the boxing 35-1. He was like, anytime you bet like on the underdog, the man, like I find a lot of, it just gets done a lot, but I don't know on yours. Like,
or what? Would you have bet
I actually, dude, I mean, you literally, I don't know. I actually think I might have. It's really close, man. And it's crazy that it came down to like the 1600ths of a second.
Crazy. We had to come back, Jeff, and even because we had a continuous drone shot, and it was so close, we had to come back and do the sweat with the drone to make sure that we were still like everything was lined up. So it was like a sweat after the sweat, pretty much.
It's really crazy, man. That can't be more dramatic or intense. And because like again, it's not like, oh, like this isn't like, oh, Bill feels like, oh man, you did a great job, you were so close, give it to you, because there's money on it, other people had money on it. It wasn't like a charity, we got to give it to them. It was so it's pretty crazy that it actually came that close.
We had to make sure. Jeff, listen, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're a busy man. Leave us with either your craziest poker story or the biggest amount you've won or lost in one night playing poker.
So the biggest I ever played was 1K, 2K, no limit blinds. I actually played with Bill. It was funny because we went to a movie. I think it was in LA area, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to go play this game?" It was supposed to be like 200, 400 or 200, 400, and then we got there and it was 1K, 2K, and I was like, well, it's way bigger than I'd played. And obviously, I'm action is I'm not just buying in myself, but I ended up playing that game. That was my biggest win in a game. But the stakes were big, so it wasn't like a crazy amount of big blinds. And then the biggest I lost was actually this January in the Bahamas.
Oh, no way.
I lost 340K pot, all in pre-flop, pocket aces to pocket kings. I had aces, and the gentleman happened to be Rob I was up against, and he only runs at one time, and he had kings, and it came king flop, king river. It was all in pre-flop, so that was the biggest pot.
See, that gives me secondhand anxiety, Jeff. Like that.
It wasn't the best way to start the year. It wasn't the best way to start the year. And the sick part is I busted aces to kings in the 25K PCA like 2 days before. Yeah, so that was how I started my year.
You still have nightmares about that or what?
No, I forgot about it until now.
Out of sight, out of mind. That's my bad. That's my bad.
I have a vlog up. I have a vlog up on that exact hand, Aces the King. So if you go on my YouTube, that's like a share my pair replay hand. So yeah, that one's done.
Well, I'm sure definitely. I'll be checking it out. I'm sure everyone in the chat will as well. Jeff, thank you so much for being here tonight, man. It means a lot taking the time out of your busy schedule to come chat with the Thirst Lounge crew. I'm sure we'll cross paths again, and best of luck over in Triton.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Take
John.
care, homie.
Bye. See ya.
You know, it's literally always a pleasure talking to that guy. One of the hardest working guys in the biz. Honestly, his heart, his passion, everything he does for the game is unbelievable. And it's honestly super cool to be even brushing shoulders or even having something like that on a show that I'm doing. Well, guys, we're almost to the end of the night. But before we finish, I have had a lot of you asking every time I stream, where is Voislav? A lot of you have asked, what the fuck is going on in that guy's head? I never know what he's thinking. Well, guys, thanks to massive advancements in technology, we have found a way to enter his mind. We have found a way to really find out what goes on in that head on a day-to-day basis. It's fucking weird. It's fucking dark. Let's check it out in a segment we like to call the inside voice of Voislav.
Oh god, it's so hot. Man, I wish I was completely naked right now. Like Maddie. Maddie would have fucking loved doing that. So free and liberating. Clothes are just body prisons trapping our nakedness inside. These plants never have to cover their true selves. What if I covered my naked body with plants and leaves? Will that make me free? 3 bags full, sir, please. That didn't really rhyme. Do we feed plants so they feed us until we die, and then return to the soil so they can consume us? And maybe oxygen is slowly killing us. It just takes like 70 to 80 years to do so. I guess it's to help the plants. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. I mean, technically, everybody is already actually a naked person just in disguise, hiding away. If I ever have to watch my life flash before my eyes, I would be forced to watch myself masturbate thousands of fucking times. Stay thirsty, motherfuckers, yeah, Thirst Lounge. That's our new slogan. For sure. Why are vegetables so sexually arousing? And why am I getting really horny in the shop right now? Rape cheese? What the fuck happened to this cheese? Like, what the fuck is it gonna do to me? I think maybe you and the cucumber might need to have some alone time together. Okay, what the fuck is that smell? Seriously, am I laying in shit right now? Is there shit somewhere? Is the world one giant poo space rock and we are the corn that never digested?
What the fuck was that? Literally, that was, oh man, I don't know. He has a girlfriend too. Like, imagine if he said those things out loud on a day-to-day basis. He would be single as fuck. Well, guys, that is it for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we cannot thank you enough for being here. It's a new project we all took on as a group, and we're having a whole lot of fun bringing this to you every Friday night. Next week, though, we are not here. We have a prop bet taking place. I'm not sure if I can say it yet, but there will be a few members, including myself, away from the house to film. And that's about it. From everyone in the Thirst Lounge, thank you. And we won't see you next week, but Friday after we'll be back. Take care.